and welcome to Sammy Scrolls, where I tell you all about some of the best books out there. In this episode we're looking at Deadpool Secret Invasion. So I have a bit of a confession to make. Deadpool is my favourite superhero, which I suppose is kind of weird. Most people like Superman or Batman or, you know, those kind of ones. Deadpool, he does it for me. He is incredible. I went and saw the movie when it first came out, and I actually had no idea what Deadpool was. I'd never heard of him before, didn't really like superhero movies, I just wasn't interested, and I was invited along and told, you know, you'll love this, it's your kind of humour, this is your movie. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. So I went. I'd seen some of the trailers and thought it looked pretty cool, but I wasn't, I suppose, familiar with the character and his world, and I didn't know that superheroes could be this cool. Anyway. So, I went and saw the movie, and from that day on, been totally obsessed. And I've wanted to collect the comics for such a long time, but it was just too hard. They were either way too expensive and all the way in the city, so it wasn't really worth it by the time I got the train down, or even drove in or whatever, and then picked up the comic. It's just not worth the money. So, I just never got around to it, I suppose. And then a comic book shop opened just up the road from me. I was so excited. If you live at Deception Bay or anywhere local and you want an affordable comic book shop, Melissa, she's an absolute sweetheart. She runs Northside Comics and Collectibles, and she's incredible. She hooked me up with Deadpool. She's gone to all sorts of lengths to find this for me and get it at a price that I was okay with, and she's gonna hook me up with the rest of the series, and I mean, nothing's too much for that girl. She's phenomenal. I say to her, look, I'm interested in starting collecting this, or I want this game or this outfit or whatever it is, and she will go to the ends of the earth to find it for me and make it happen. So if you've got anything that is pop culture related that you've been looking for, definitely go and see Melissa. I'll put links in the description below so you can go check her out. Honestly, she's incredible, and it's well worth visiting her shop. She also does markets, which is pretty cool. Just casually strolling around the markets and then picking up pop culture awesomeness. Anyway, I could talk about that comic book shop all day long. But yes, my first ever Deadpool comic. It was absolutely everything I'd hoped it would be. It's not the actual start of his timeline. I'm not even sure where the timeline starts. This was just one that was easier for Melissa to get a hold of, and I had just said, get me anything. So it's the start of a timeline. I don't know what one or where it fits in or anything. I'm very new to all of this, so if you're familiar with Deadpool or you've read the comics and know where to start or where I should go to from here, please let me know. But yeah, this is everything I'd hoped it would be, because it's Deadpool's humour. The writing is phenomenal. Some of the stuff that he comes out with, it's hilarious. Obviously, if you've seen the movie, you know that he's a little bit of a character and he's cheeky, and yeah, he doesn't give, I don't know a nice way of saying it. He just doesn't give a crap about anything. There's no PC culture with this guy. It's just, he says what he thinks, says what he means, unapologetically, which I appreciate. I think we could use more of that. But yeah, I suppose, he's been working. Sorry, Sophie's in the background, so you can probably hear her snoring. He's been working as this mercenary for a while now, and he's running a bit low on funds. So he starts having a conversation with himself, which is something he does a lot, which is actually one of my favourite things to read, because it's so funny. Because he lays it on to himself. He'll be having a conversation with himself, and both sides of the conversation will be insulting the other one. It's so funny. So he has this chat with himself, and he and himself agree that it's time to go out and find work. And there's this guy that he's not particularly fond of, but he decides, look, I need the moolah, so I'm gonna go get it. And all the shenanigans that goes on in between, you know, he ends up in a way saving the world, and then gets caught up with this guy where he needs work, and it all just goes to crap. I don't know, it's really hard to describe because so much happens in this comic and you spend so much time just laughing. it's really hard to do a review on because I wasn't, like, often now when I'm reading books, I'm taking notes of things in my head, so when I'm filming, I have some idea of what I'm going to say, but I couldn't do that with this. I was just so busy enjoying it and just laughing. He's so my sense of humour, just unapologetic and just so real as well. And I love how he breaks the fourth wall. That is one of my favourite things. Like in the movie, he quite often will be fighting some bad guy and he'll come and talk to you. Like there's a bit where it's getting gross and he goes, you might not want to look at this, and moves the camera away. It's so good. And he does that sort of stuff in this comic. So yeah, I don't know what I can say other than if you liked the movie or if you've ever even considered having a look at Deadpool, definitely do, because he's not your average comic book hero, because I'm so not into that. Like, the Batman Telltale game was alright, but other than that, I'm not that interested. But Deadpool, completely sold on the entire series, cannot wait to get the rest of them. But yeah, as I was saying before, Melissa at Northside Comics and Collectibles is able to hook you up with these, so if you're interested, go and grab yourself a copy, or if you have any interest in any sort of comic or book, or she's even got some manga in, movie, collectibles, all sorts of stuff, definitely go and check her out. Well worth a visit, I promise you, and she's so lovely, and her mum too. But yeah, if you're into Deadpool, let me know where does this fit into his timeline, and where should I go from here? Should I go back and start with the things I've missed? I'm not sure, so you guys give me the advice and I'll talk to Melissa and see what she can do for me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Take care until I see you next time. Bye!